this is the Acrobat Mini from iAssist Enhanced Vision. Just want to show you how this thing basically gets all set up. As you can see initially when you open up the case, you have the camera unassembled and you have the monitor here. So simply by pulling out this whole sleeve, which you never want to throw away, monitor just simply lifts out. There's a cover on it. And to attach the camera, all it is, simply push it in. Now this is an HDMI cable, very small, very narrow. The white indicator is facing you, and as you're inserting, kind of like wiggle and push. It has to be fully seated or the monitor will not work. Now, on the side of the monitor, there's a couple of buttons. You have a rocker, which controls how bright or dark you want the screen to be. It's a dimmer control. The bottom button is battery indicator, because when you're running on rechargeable battery, you may want to know how much you have left. This button in the middle, this is an HDMI system camera. However, this monitor is universal because it can be either used VGA or RCA, such as a TV connection device. So, if this button is pressed and held, you would change the monitor to be from HDMI to VGA to RCA. If it leaves the HDMI setting, you'll only get a blue screen, and that's when we get a phone call, my system isn't working. Now, once the camera is attached, simply press the button, and the monitor itself is adjustable tilt-wise. So it's booting up, it's going through its startup stage. And as you can see, there's the battery indicator. But at any time, I can simply press that bottom button and I can see how much battery I have left at any time. When it gets down to critical stage where you have one line left and it's red, it means that you have less than an hour. It should be plugged in at that point and used on electricity or for charging purposes. So, the camera has its own set of buttons to make things bigger, smaller. The mode will simply change the different contrasts. And the find button will allow an individual to zoom out, get an overview of what they're looking at. They can then subsequently move the document where they want it to be. At the same time, for distance viewing, simply turn the camera and this lens, just simply open it up. It swings out of the way, and now you have the ability to have distance viewing using these buttons. Okay, now the find feature, what am I looking at? So you can press and hold the find, it zooms out, and again, be able to move the camera accordingly. Reading purposes, close the lens. Now, you can also pivot the arm over to the side as such for an unobstructed view of the monitor and simply coordinate the usage right here. It also comes with a remote control, allowing you to have the same buttons for the camera using this remote. You also have some additional features. So plus and minus, so let's remove the strip for the battery. Plus, minus, the mode. The find feature, zooms out, zooms back in. And you have all the different color contrast. You have a freeze button, press and hold. All right, the image is frozen, whether it be for distance or for reading, writing purposes. To unfreeze, simply press the button again. It's an automatic focus. If I pick the book up, it focuses in automatically. If I press the lock feature button on the right, it will never focus in as I lift up the document. However, when I'm using this for writing purposes, my hand may be a little out of focus because it's closer to the camera, but what I'm writing will always remain in focus. So to go back to autofocus, and it's indicated with the words, press the button again. LM is press and hold 2 line markers. You can adjust the width of the line markers with the 2 larger green buttons. The one on the right controls up and down of the bottom one. The one on the top, same function. You can put them both together and move them simultaneously wherever you may want them to be. Press and hold the line marker button again, and those vertical lines now appear. Press it again, you have a window shade. Again, you can block out how much of the screen you may want or the text. Press the button again, and they go vertical. Press it a fourth time, full screen. WB is white balance. It will only work when you're in the color mode. Depending on the lighting in the room, I can change the hue, HUE, press and hold the button, and white balance cooler gives it a bluish green tint. Press and hold it again. We're now at white balance auto. Press and hold it again. White balance warm, which gives it a yellowish tint. Press and hold again. White balance normal, which right now in this lighting condition makes my fingers look a little pink. So let's try another one. Cool. Press and hold. Gives it more definition, more of a natural color in this light in the auto. The button on the top, that toggle button, if I press, I can make the screen brighter or darker. The middle button, if you press it and just release it, okay, you see a little lock. If I continued pressing it, I would turn off the HDMI to VGA and only a blue screen would appear. The bottom button, again, is battery indicator. When you do receive these machines, the first thing is recommended before you actually use it, charge it up fully. Now, some of the different things you can do with this is that it's customizable. To get into menus, you can either simply press either one of the mode buttons here or the mode button on the remote control. Pressing and holding it, you're now going to be entering setup. Now, using the plus and minus, you can change different settings, like the line markers. I could do it without a remote control by going into that white balance, either here or there. Press plus, I'm going through the different things. Left-hand mode. If I'm looking directly in front or to the side, right side, everything is normal. If I'm looking at the left side of the room, everything is going to be reversed. So the words will be reversed. So in that sense, if that be the situation, simply go into menus, select menu, press the plus button. Let's go back. Left-hand mode, think of the mode as the enter button. I want it off or I want it on by either pressing. And as you can see, left hand is on right now. This book is upside down, it's reversed. But if I was looking at the left-hand side, it would be normal. We're going to go back by simply pressing the minus button. Let's continue on through the menus. We're going to go back into the menu, press and hold the mode button, entering setup, line markers, white balance, left-hand mode, brightness color select. The funny colors you can change if you like red with blue, or there's 28 different colors. All this information is also included in the manual with the machine. Sleep timer, let's enter that. Factory default is 30 minutes. You can change that to 15 minutes, 30, 45, 60, or off. You decide which is best for you. After the factory default of 30 minutes, if this camera isn't used, if the buttons aren't pressed, if the camera isn't repositioned, after 30 minutes, this machine will turn off. This way you're conserving the battery just in case the student is not using it and you don't want to have the battery being run down. Factory default is 30, but it can be changed as I showed you by simply going to your selection, determining which is best for you, and just confirming by pressing the off button, the mode button. System is now, will never go off unless this button is physically depressed. 8, extended zoom, enter. We're going to turn that on. What that does is allow, say I have a larger box, say I have something large and it's closer to the camera. With the extended zoom, will give you a bit more magnification up to the point where it will blur out, because you have to have some reasonable amount of distance from the lens to the document. Finally, you have exit. Press the button, you're out of menus. If you have any questions, please, you can call us at area code 201-746-9330, and I will also be including our contact information in the email associated with this video. Thank you.